Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I promised you guys that I'd come up with 4 different builds for the 4 new civilizations before the release of the game. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Lithuanians, and this was actually a viewer suggestion, so a lot of you guys were commenting down below, wondering what the fastest Lithuanian scout rush would look like while still maintaining economy to be able to do some feudal age eco upgrades and be able to seed farms and transition off to other things. So some of you guys were saying like 15 pop scout rushes, and while I think they can work, I think those are a little bit too fast because you're gonna get up really fast but then not be able to follow it up with much. So I've pretty much found the optimal build to combine the speed of the scout rush as well as being able to follow it up and maintain a decent economy in feudal age. So I came up with an 18 pop scout rush that is actually able to get both eco upgrades at the start of feudal as well as a stable, and pump out a couple of scouts as well. So it's definitely solid in terms of how fast you can get out the scout production as well as how strong your eco is behind it. Just to give you guys some, I guess, reference, the Mongol meta in the standard game is something like 17-18 pop for how fast you go up. So this is pretty much the new Mongols in terms of the scout rush. One thing I want to mention as well, they do get a bonus on the skirms. They move 10% faster, so as scouts into skirm transition can be a really solid strategy for the civilization, and something I think that could be quite dangerous, especially on 1v1 Arabia. So without further ado, let's hop right into this one. Alright, so Lithuanians here are going to run the standard build for you guys. Good stuff. And as usual, we're going to go ahead and scout with the sheep, get our start on. All the usual stuff. One thing I found really useful here is the command queuing, where you can shift and click, and your villas will go from one sheep to another. I've been tinkering out with that a lot, and I think I really like it. It's probably one of the best changes I think to the early game. All right, so getting my first few villagers onto the sheep. I do have one wood line here, so I'm gonna go for that one. It's a pretty standard build to start. You guys are gonna see, so I can actually queue up more villagers here. It's a pretty standard build. We're gonna go 6 on sheep, and we're gonna go 3 on wood. I was tinkering with the idea of going 2 to wood, but the reason I didn't like it is because I found that you need the third one to be able to afford the barracks and stable in good times. So that's good stuff. And there, I should have shift clicked, but I didn't. I did it manually. I'll show you next time. I'll do it with shift click. So basically, you bring in the sheep. I showed this a little last time, but you right away can just shift, right click, and they will finish the sheep and go to the next one perfectly. And it's such a great feature in my opinion, and will help out the Dark Age quite a bit. Just make it that much cleaner and consistent for you guys. We got 2 boars here and there. Someone also commented last time that I had cows instead of sheep, and they may have altered my my results. I cannot what's the word? I cannot dictate what kind of animals I get from the map generation. It seems like with Arabia, it's completely random what you get. I've even seen some give me rhinos instead of boars, which have more food. So it is quite random. So I apologize if you guys are a little disrupted by that, but it was really just the map generation. For this one though, we're in luck. It's all sheep. Alright, so I should have taken that forward boar. Those good Dark Age practices. No problem though. For the purpose of the guide, I'll stop chasing his scouts, and I'll just focus on my economy here. So I've got 6 on sheep. I'm gonna get the boar standard time. And next build, we'll make a house to, form a wall and also be in front of the berries, and we'll make a mill afterwards. This is where it gets interesting though. So I'm bringing in my first boar. My next fills normally would go to berries. However, since I went up really fast, I'm gonna instead put them to the hunt. All right, so shift click this boar. There we go. I'm gonna instead put them on the hunt, alright? And I'm even gonna lure in the next boar really, really fast. So I'm gonna put 1 more into the hunt if you can fit. If not, I'll just take the boar. This build that made the house will make my mill because I definitely need the second building to click up, but I will not invest more builds onto berries just yet. Alright, because obviously hunt is a faster source of food. So if I'm trying to click up really, really fast, you want to have as much hunt as possible. And that's really what this build aims to do. Like I said, you can go like 2 on wood and go up like 15 or 16 population. But trust me on that one, you're not going to be able to follow it up with anything in feudal age. So while it could be a fun build, I don't think it's going to be very effective. And I'm here to give you guys the most effective builders. Alright, so bringing that boar. Again, pretty good timing here. He might come in a little bit early. No big deal. The important thing is just really to have a lot of hunt. Just bring that guy in. Good stuff. This guy can work. There we go. And my last 2 villagers will go over to the berries. Alright, if ever any villager doesn't fit on the hunt, because you have a lot of villas under the TC. If ever they don't fit, you can just send them over to berries. If this guy doesn't fit, he fits. Alright, cool. And then after this build, I'll go ahead and queue up Loom here, and then I'll click up right afterwards. It's very important now more than ever to get your boards under the TC, because this build is actually quite tight. So you definitely need to get as much efficiency as possible in this Dark Age. So keep in mind, keep an eye on how I do things, and make sure you're following it pretty close. Alright, so after the loom is done, look at that, 552 food. So you guys can probably think around, maybe get 17 pop if you really want, but I think this is the best one, most consistent. Alright, so when we get up to feudal age, there's a few things I will do really quickly here. So the first thing I'm going to focus on is I'm going to send 4 villagers from my TC to the wood line. It's very important that you guys follow my exact numbers here. So I have 4 villas going from my town center to the wood line. I'm going to have 7 total on 1 lumber camp. Very important. You cannot afford a second lumber camp in this build. You just go up too fast. If you make a second lumber camp, you cannot make your barracks and stable on time. So 1 lumber camp, 7 villas, very important. And I'm going to send 1 more to berries and 1 more to build the house and then our barracks. Alright, so I'm going to do this all really quickly. Alright, so send the healthy ones there, send 1 there, and send 1 to the berries. So now I'm left with a very standard scout build with 4 on berries, 5 on sheep, and 7 on wood. The only difference here is that I'm going up very fast, or faster than normal. The normal fast scout rush is 20 pop. However, this is 18, so this is significantly faster. I'm going to make a house and then our barracks, and you're going to see this will come in at perfect timing. With the barracks, and we're gonna have the perfect amount of wood as well, and enough food to make a few scouts and even get the wood upgrade at the start of feudal age. So obviously in a real game I would be using my scout to scout my opponent, but for this guide we're focusing really on the economy. Alright, these guys are taking the sheep, and I'm gonna want to send a second villager very soon from under my TC to go ahead and make my stable. Alright, one thing to focus on is you definitely want your stable to be as close to the front as possible or towards your opponent. Since this is a fast scout rush, you want your stable to be as close to your opponent so your scouts can go straight from your stable to your opponent's base. Alright, so here it is. Let's make that stable. As you can see, as I hit feudal age, I'm making my stable. I can afford double bit axe, I can afford it, and I can afford villager production and a couple scouts. So I'll run the next couple minutes. I'm up at 8:30. I think it was 8:25 my time, or maybe I was a little, a couple seconds delay. 8:25 feudal age, 18 population, and I have enough to afford scouts and economy upgrades. Guys, I'm pretty sure this is the most solid build for Lithuanians in terms of scout rushing, and I definitely recommend you guys check this one out for yourself when the game drops. So let's play this out for another couple minutes. I'll show you guys what's the deal with the economy. So I'm pause here, get the wood upgrade, good stuff. I'm making my stable, and your next step is really just to get your bills from the TC onto whatever hunt you have left. You should have a couple sheep left. Good stuff. Still 4 on berries, still 7 on wood. It all is standard. And then we're gonna save up for that farm upgrade. Good stuff. And then once the sheep run out, we're gonna be able to sustain farms like a normal scout build. So there it is. House stable. This guy will go back onto wood to have 8 on wood, 1 lumber camp, and you're able to afford 2 scouts, vill production easily, and both your economy upgrades are done. So guys, after this, you're free to scout rush for a little bit. You can add in more scouts, go for bloodlines. The Sith has a lot of options in feudal age with the fast moving skirmishers. They also have crossbows, so you can easily switch into archers, go for crossbow. You can stay on knights. The choice is yours. Guys, this is a very flexible, very fast, and very effective scout rush build with the Lithuanians. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment, and let me know down below what civ you guys want to see next. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.